Southern blood runs deep through our veins. We'll stand tall for America till the end of our days.
Well, hey there. I'm Sully, and as always, welcome to the Gun Club. We've got a little bit of a topic tonight, and I wanted to do this. I've been absent a lot, and I'm sorry about that, but this one there's such a contrast that really stuck out. And I wanted to do it as a tale of two cities, a tale of two incidents. We saw in the last week, well, we've seen several incidents, but we've seen two big ones. The first one jumped off on Saturday at a Wal Mart for something in the afternoon at Traverse City, Michigan. Just your average town for something in the afternoon, people out doing what they're going to do. What? Buy groceries, pick up stuff for the weekend, maybe getting stuff to grill out that night, or maybe, spending their paycheck. They got paid Friday, they're out. Normal, average, everyday folks doing average, everyday things. And a psychopath showed up. Now, this psychopath was armed with a knife. The knife he was armed with is not a fancy K-bar or a big bad assault knife. It was a simple folding knife. Simple pocket knife like anybody carries. Not anything extravagant. And he decided to go do something bad with it. Now, honestly, Walmart, after incidents of previous shootings, previous things like that, well, we're not going to sell this anymore. We're not going to sell that anymore. We're not going to carry this anymore. So I'm waiting to see if Walmart's going to implement better cutlery control, because honestly, this is a pocket knife. You can buy these in Walmart, I'm pretty sure. Haven't bought one there, but again, it was nothing extravagant, just cheap imitation wood grain, brass on each end of it, folding pocket knife. In the hands of an evil person or a mentally deranged person or some combination thereof, it was brought to bear, and 11 people ended up injured. 11 people ended up getting hokey pokey, ranging in age from 28 to 85 years of age. Yeah, you got to be really bad to stab the 69-year-old female, the geriatric. Yeah, you're tough, bud. And he was later arraigned, and in the courthouse during the arraignment, I watched the video trip of it. He's talking out of his head. So, again, why is this important to us? Well, one thing, it wasn't really covered a lot on the mainstream media, but the second part that really was ignored by the mainstream media was what stopped it. Oh, it was awful. There was a mass attack at Walmart. Oh, no. Woe is me, woe is me. But wait a minute, what stopped this mass attack at Walmart? John Q. Citizen, actually, name is Derek Perry, but we'll call him John Q. Citizen. Average, ordinary guy. Now, he's a U.S. Marine veteran. Hoorah, give him that one. But on the simplest level, John Q. Citizen out shopping, but what was he carrying? He was exercising his 2A rights. And the only thing that happened in Walmart, he was not an employee of Walmart. He was not a staff member of Walmart. He was John Q. Citizen exercising his 2A rights that stopped a madman with an edged weapon who stabbed 11 people. Mr. Perry, put a hell of a stop to it then and there. Now, does it matter really all the details of it? I mean, we can get into that and we'll talk about the facts. But in the big scope of things, what do I know? The only thing that was going to stop a bad guy with a weapon, in this case, it was a knife, but it could have been a firearm, it could have been anything else, was a good guy with a gun. A good guy with a gun who stepped up and said, no, you're not going to start stabbing old people. We're going to put a stop to it. And it's really simple. Yeah. It's the simplest thing in the world to me. And that is where we get into such a, you know what? we have an emotionally unstable gentleman who has a weapon. And again, I can pull you up a picture of the weapon, show you the assault weapon here. This was the big bad, as Kathy Okel would refer to it, as an assault weapon, but we'll see what we think here. This is a picture of the cockroach in question, as well as the weapon he was using. He used this weapon to inflict stab wounds on 11 individual innocent people at 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And I like it. The suspect is in custody thanks to police and Good Samaritans. Yeah, when seconds are on the line, the cops were minutes away, not dogging out the law enforcement. They can't ride around in your pocket. Your two-way rights can ride around in your pocket. The gentleman who put a screeching halt to this, or should I say the hero who put a screeching halt to this. What do we know about him? Again, just your average, ordinary gentleman. Now, here's a picture of him holding this gentleman at gunpoint, basically saying, no, you're not going to stab anybody else. We're going to stop this stupidity. Now, with all due respect to Mr. Perry, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to talk about the grip he has, okay? We can talk about his grip later. Not really the greatest. But there is a man, again, John Q. Citizen, out doing something to stop a madman with a weapon. Very simple. It's really the simplest out there. I see a few of us in the chat. Mary, yes, of course, please give us a plus sign, subscribe, follow the channel, share this out. We're trying to build it up some more. Eric, I see you in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Mel says, yes, always carry a pew-pew to Wally World because people down crazy. Okay, it doesn't have to be Wally World, but it just happened to be in this case. We've covered cases in the past of Walmart employees going off the deep end, going after their coworkers. Walmart employees going after customers with pew-pews. Guess what? If you're going out in public, and we know there is a mental health epidemic in this country, and I'll say it straight out, unfortunately, I love a lot of things Reagan did economically, but he closed the asylums. And that's a problem. It's a problem for a lot of people. I hate to say it, but, not trying to get all political, but the only reason that Jordan Neely died on that subway car is because he was not someplace that could take care of him. The only reason that some of these incidents happen is because people are out running loose on the street, running amok. And in this case, Mr. Perry showed amazing, amazing restraint. Now, the interesting thing is, and again, we can look at this picture here, and the gentleman to his right, his got a few of the other pictures. The gentleman to his right, it was really interesting. He is out there. I saw some of the pictures that had a bigger, wider cut on it. He is in just bare feet out there trying to get this guy to drop a knife. Now, Mr. Perry, he's a black dude with dreads. The guy next to him is a bald white guy out there in shorts and bare feet. Doesn't matter. They're all good guys. They're all good, decent citizens. And but I agree with you, Eric. That is, I'm pretty sure that, when he went to Paris Island, they did not show him that grip. But again, they say every Marine is a rifleman, and that was a pistol. So maybe he was a little out of his element. I don't know. And, he may have been out of the Corps for a few years and a little bit in, the heat of the battle. Look, how he holds it, I got to give him respect. He did it right. He did didn't hold it right, but as far as doing the right thing. Step up, DTRT, do the right thing, if nothing else. And okay, I agree. People are especially crazy at Walmart. Yes, Mel is giving us her privileged view of this thing. I'm sure she shops at Target or some of the fancy places, or at least when she goes to Walmart, she brings me with her because she knows I'll cover her. But, the thing is, that is a mental health crisis with a weapon gone totally awry. He's going around doing the hokey pokey on innocent people at Walmart. None of them thought they'd be in a life threatening encounter that day. I'm sure Mr. Perry didn't plan on it when he left the house, but he did the right thing. He stood up and a good guy with a gun stopped it. He stopped the killing. Rock on. Now, I want to draw a contrast. And the contrast I'm going to draw is to the incident that happened a couple days ago in New York City. Now, the New York City, Mel either brings a bodyguard or does delivery, and we can guess who the bodyguard might be. The incident in New York City, a gunman drove up there and he double parks his BMW on Park Avenue in New York, right in the heart of Midtown. This is not Hell's Kitchen. This is not the Bronx. This is not, South Brooklyn. No. This is the beautiful, scenic center of Manhattan. He's probably 3 blocks from where Radio City Music Hall is. I know I've stayed in a hotel that's about 4 blocks from there. Right, Fox News is right over on 6th Avenue. Park is 5th Avenue. So at 5th Avenue, New York, big, beautiful Park Avenue, gets out of a car, goes walking into an office building at 345 Park Avenue with an AR-15 platform rifle, shoots and kills an off-duty police officer who's working security at the front desk, shoots a couple of other people in the lobby, killing them, gets on the elevators, and goes up to the 33rd floor. Now, he, in the note in his pocket, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but he had a rant against the NFL for concussions and CTE and everything. Okay. He was, according to the note, looking for the NFL. Their offices, again, are right there in that building, but they're on the 5th through the 8th floor. If you've never been in a New York City skyscraper, a lot of times they'll have one elevator that goes, say, from the 1st floor to the 20th, and another elevator that goes from the 1st to the 40th, but it doesn't stop at the first 20 floors. Reason is, let's face it, if you're in an 80-floor building and it's stopping and going all day, you'll never get down from the 70th. So if you're on the 70th, it may work those 10 floors, but be express all the way down to the rest of it. So he gets on an elevator that just happens to go straight to the 33rd floor. Gets off, lets one person walk past him as a cleaning person, shoots another person, and then ends his own life. We have a total of 4 deceased, including one NYPD officer. Now, this man walked brazenly in with an AR platform rifle in his hand. Didn't try to hide it, wasn't in a backpack, wasn't, concealed in any way, shape, or form. Just strutted on in and started to kill him. And until he stopped it himself by revoking his own birth certificate, no one was going to stop him. No one could stop him. And you can hear all the politicians out there ranting about weapons of war. Kathy Hochul actually referred to it as a weapon of mass destruction, like she thinks the guy brought a nuke or something. No, he brought a simple semi-auto rifle. Now, there is a mental health issue. There is a question with how he got it, and we can deep dive all that. But at the simplest level, the Walmart incident, 11 people stabbed, none die. The New York City incident, 5 people shot, 4 of them dead, plus the bad guy. And the bad guy don't really count, but, So, what's the difference? Somebody stopped it. Somebody put a screeching halt to it. By putting a screeching halt to it, what does that do? That stops the killing. I go to Walmart periodically, and there's a little sign at the front door, kindly refrain from open carry, even though open carry, concealed carry, both totally legal in this state. We're constitutional carry in South Carolina. But what do we know? Well, We know that, Walmart may not want me open carrying, but idiot boy can go in there with a knife. Even if he hadn't gone in there with a knife, could he go over to the kitchen area and open up a knife? Grab a big 10-inch long stabby? Yeah. I'm sure Walmart's got chef's knives. I've looked and seen them. So, yeah, you can have anything. He could go to the sporting goods section of Walmart, grab a softball bat, baseball bat. Go out there, start swinging at people. Again, mental illness is mental illness, folks. We need to understand it doesn't have to make sense, but anything can be a weapon. He could have grabbed a frying pan, start bonking people over the head with it. Yeah. Until you have a good guy, a citizen, willing to say, okay, stop, this ain't going on no more, the killing, the injuring, the wounding keeps going. These incidents, Traverse City, Michigan, small town. New York City, NYPD, 30,000 strong. They had one officer in the lobby. He was taken out early. Nobody else could do anything. I mourn for the officer. He was 36 years of age, been on the job 3.5 years, has 2 kids, and his wife's got a third one on the way. Yeah, he didn't have a chance against this guy. Unfortunately, that's the way it went down. But imagine if that guy coming through the door is trying to aim at the cop because he's the uniform, he's the obvious target, and 2 or 3 bystanders rain down bullets on the bad guy. That couldn't happen in New York. Wouldn't happen in New York. He walked calmly and confidently from his double parked car in the middle of Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan into the building, knowing that nobody could stop him. Knowing that in a city that's been totally effectively disarmed, their 2A rights have been castrated, knowing that there was not going to be any bystanders or good guys who were going to call him to account, knowing he would meet no resistance. Meanwhile, the guy in Michigan, he met some damn resistance. And guess what? He lived. Mr. Perry did not shoot him. I don't know if I could use that much restraint, but bystanders were able and enabled to confront him because of what? The lack of restrictions on good guys. Now, when we look at the case in New York, and trust me, they're crying. Oh, Kathy Hochul's crying. We need better gun laws. We need this. We need that. Let's talk about the gun laws that exist. Midtown Manhattan is a gun-free zone. Even if you are a legit New York City carry permit holder, you could not carry walking down that street. It's a gun-free zone. They did it for all of Midtown. So, yeah, gun-free zones claim 4 lives. Number 2, AR-15s, not allowed in New York City. Number 3, appears to be a 30-round mag. Standard capacity mags, not allowed in New York City. This guy, he's from Nevada. He has a carry permit there, but it's not accepted in New York City. He's not even allowed to own or carry a gun in New York City. I've got my permits in South Carolina, other states. If I walk down the street with a handgun in New York, concealed or open, I go to big boy prison. In New York City, same thing. So he's not allowed to have one anywhere in the state or within the city thereof. The city considers him separate from state. So there's 2 gun laws. Didn't affect him at all. The gun not being allowed, the mag not being allowed. Midtown Manhattan's a gun-free zone. I'm counting at least 5, 6 gun laws that were totally ineffective against the bad guy, but made sure that the good guys were unarmed. This gentleman, based on his note, didn't plan to leave that building. He's talking in it about how the NFL is to blame for brain injuries and everything else. Okay. I don't get it. His note said his brain should be studied after he died for CTE, which is basically brain damage from chronic trauma. Think of like Chris Benoit, things like that. There was a Patriots player years ago, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. But wait a minute. He said it referenced NFL. He played high school ball in California 20 something years ago. He never played college or pro ball to anyone's knowledge. But what do we know? He's got this idea that, well, the NFL is responsible for his brain damage. Okay. He also had some psychotropic meds in the car, including Zoloft. And he goes out and decides to do this. Drive from Nevada all the way to New York over a course of 3 days. Park his car in the middle of Midtown Manhattan and just go, yeah. Okay, Aaron Hernandez. Yeah. That was the Patriots player. Possible CTE there. And, this guy had the note that, after he's dead, he wants his brain studied for CTE. And maybe in high school, maybe he did something else or was involved in some other kind of accidents that caused CTE. Okay. Mental health issues are going to happen. The guy in Traverse City, mental health issues are going to happen. The guy in Traverse City, a pickup order had been issued by a judge 24 hours earlier for a psych evaluation. And he's got previous issues with, back in 2016, he was trying to dig up a grave and he was arrested and ruled unfit to stand trial, and all the charges were dropped in 2017. So we're going to go back to 2017. The guy in Michigan had some psych issues. Apparently, they haven't gotten much better over the last 8 to 10 years. The thing is, a good guy can stop that if he is not castrated by the laws. Michigan and New York. Both, people going about their daily business. One is in an office building, 6 o'clock in the evening. An idiot walks in and decides to start doing bad things and taking people's lives for whatever reason. And we can get into the motives and the meds he's on and everything else. And there's a place for that. And there's a place to discuss the mental health crisis. But as long as we have the mental health crisis that we do, and as long as Mel would say, yeah, people are especially cray-cray some places, as long as we come up with that, we also have to say there's got to be a way for the law-abiding, the decent, honest, honorable citizen to defend themselves. And, when you look at this guy, and again, I watched his arraignment on TV. I want to give hats off to, I believe it was Law Talk with Mike streamed it, but I've got a clip of it here. This gentleman has definitely got some issues. Let's go. I'm going to show you the clip of the arraignment, and you can kind of gauge where he's at in all this. Let's see here.
An individual that's been before this court in 30-some years.
The tobacco, y'all like have the tobacco company and you're selling cigarettes with fiberglass and chemicals in them just to kill off the population, and you can't really accuse me of anything if you're doing that, so.
Okay. So I'm going to mute you for right now because I need to let you know what my decision is with regard to bond. Mr. Gilly, your bond is going to be a $100,000 cash or surety bond. Conditions on the bond are that you may not use nor possess any alcohol, any illegal substance, or any controlled substance, including marijuana, any mind or mood altering substances, or any non-prescribed medication. You would submit to 4 times per month urine screens. You would submit to discretionary PBTs and discretionary urine screens whenever requested by a police officer or any court personnel, so you may not refuse. You may not use nor possess any weapons of any sort, nor use any object as a weapon. You will have no threatening, intimidating, harassing.
And if you look at him in the picture there, she's had to mute him out, so he doesn't keep rambling, but he's still talking away. He's still going through the motions.
Or violent behavior towards any person. Be respectful of all court employees and care providers during the course of your case. You may not return to any Wal Mart.
Yeah, he just got banned from Wally World, folks. Poor guy. But yeah, that is, what's going on. Obviously, he's got some mental health issues, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, but on the other side of the coin, if somebody is out there who is that deranged, who has something simple, again, that wasn't a fancy weapon, and again, you go to Walmart, you don't have a weapon, they've got 5,000-6,000 options there. Pick one. Go back to the beer aisle, grab you a beer bottle, pop the end off of it, and stabby with it. We know that. But the bottom line is, the only way to stop the killing is somebody there able to address it. So yeah, definitely very much what we need in society. To give you a contrast, here is the NFL building shooter, I'll call him that, strutting his way in, very confident with his AR-15, that is walking in Main Street, New York. Walking down Park Avenue in New York. Nobody could stop him. There was not a soul there. Why? New York laws have made damn sure that he won't meet any resistance. And now they're saying they need more. How do we need more gun control laws? The ones they've got are already failing the citizens. The gun control laws they have would not allow me, as a law-abiding citizen, to carry and stop that. I'd go to jail. Bernie Getz, when 4 people approached him with a screwdriver, went to jail. Didn't go to jail for the shooting. He went to jail for daring to have a firearm. So when 4 people approach you with screwdrivers and ask you for money, you should just hand over your wallet willingly. This is the fallacy of gun control. We tell you, or they'll tell you, more and more gun laws will make you safer and safer. Trade your freedom for safety. And then, when it doesn't work, they'll tell you, well, you're just not doing it right. You need to trade more freedom for safety. Tell you what, it doesn't work, and they've proven it time and time again. But yeah, there's our tale of 2 cities. 2 incidents, one of which stopped by a good guy with a gun. Nobody died. The other, 4 people dead, including a New York City police officer, in an environment where he could not be stopped. There's your problems, ladies and gentlemen. New York City gun laws made sure that he had a target-rich environment in that gun-free zone. Sad but true. Alrighty. That's all I've got on this. I do want to mention, though, we have got a special stream planned for Saturday afternoon. I don't have the exact launch time yet. I, as y'all know, am a paramedic. I work in EMS. I have had a few people request information about first aid kits, personal safety stuff, that type of thing. Because, okay, let's go beyond the someone had to stop the bad guy in Michigan. How are we going to actually treat the wounded? How do we deal with that? And I've had a couple of people ask me to do something on basic first aid kits, on basic safety stuff. We're going to do that. Saturday, it's going to be an afternoon, mid-afternoon to late afternoon stream. We're going to do that one. If you're interested in first aid kits or setting up a first aid kit or getting a first aid kit, I'm going to have a lot of information on that because, again, I deal with this stuff every day with EMS. And, again, we need to be our own first responders because as much as I say, yes, I carry, because when seconds count, cops are minutes away. By that same token, if I happen to be at that Walmart after the good guys have Idiot Boy corralled and have Idiot Boy drop the knife and they're holding him at gunpoint, and I'm faced with 11 people bleeding in front of me, what am I going to do? What do I need to have? How do I stop that? How do I address that? So we're going to get into that. Why? Because we got to be our own first responders. Because in that case, when seconds count, the Band-Aid buggy can be minutes away. So again, not only as an instructor what I carry on the range when I teach, but also, general first aid kit information, stuff like that. We're going to be doing that this coming Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's kind of a change of pace for the channel, but it's something that I think will be worthwhile and will be useful. So please come out and join us for that. If you would, like the stream, follow the channel, subscribe if you're on YouTube. We're doing this stuff trying to get good information out there because the media doesn't want to tell you that the only thing that stopped people from dying in Traverse City was a good guy with a gun. Otherwise, the stabbing would have continued. And the gun laws, they have them all in New York. Saw how well they worked. And just to put things in perspective, there were more people shot this weekend in Chicago than in New York with the madman. We saw which one made the news. Folks, good night. Be smart. Be safe. Bye.